you, buddy?
Jordan, while the rest of the world's watching in fear of something tragic about to happen, what's your mind going through when you're walking up the ball on 8 and then walk us through what happened?
Well, I meant to just kind of float a fade, and I just missiled one. And so I was asking the cameraman behind if it went into the water, and Marshall said it went in the hazard. The cameraman said it's maybe playable, but it's past the hazard line, and I know obviously what that means. I didn't realize the severity till I got up to it, and as I walked up to it, I felt myself like I was walking, and then I started walking like this, like falling back, walking just to get to the edge, and then it was like, it's so weird because if you can normally see the ball, like I've never had a situation where you can see a ball, get a swing on it, but you're not going to play it, so it was just kind of weird because I was like, well, if I can get a swing on it and I can hit it, why would I take a drop? You know what I mean? Like, just you're never over I guess I saw a 65-foot cliff. So it's an unusual situation. Normally, if you're walking into a hazard, you see your ball, you hit it out. Michael hated it. He tried to talk me out of it 3 times. I don't blame him looking back. I'm just glad I made the par to make it worth it, because I don't think I would have made par with a drop, but if I made bogey, it would have really not been worth it. But, yeah, I mean, I was more of a nervous and adrenaline hitting it, and then when I got to the green, as I was walking there, it was more of like an anxiety feeling afterwards. Luckily, it wasn't before. But yeah, I mean, I think I'll hit less club tomorrow.
You said you took 2 extra clubs. What did you hit?
Yeah, I took a 7-iron and it was a flyer, unfortunately, because I thought I had a pretty good shot, to be honest. And I just tried to put like a half swing 7-iron on it, and just see if I can land it short, and I had to line up a little left, just given gave me a little more footing. Probably should have lined up further left and played, but just tried to chip a 7-iron up the green.
How solid was your footing?
I mean, the footing was solid, but I didn't have much room past where my left foot was, and the problem was it's downsloped. Like, if it was flat, it's no issue at all. It's the downslope that worries you, because you're going to try and you're getting more forward to your left side on a downslope in order to get the strike, right? When you want your weight with the slope. I didn't want my weight with the slope that time. So those are ones, I mean, I was almost sitting there going, like, is it worth it? Because, yes, I can get a strike on it, but am I going to back up out of fear and just kind of thin this in the water, like kind of top it? And I was just kind of trying to weigh it for a minute, and Michael was continued trying to talk me out of it. I was just trying to think clearly, like, what are the options here? And clearly, if I felt like I was in real, true danger of losing my life, I would have pulled the ball back and dropped it. It wasn't quite that severe, but it was enough to where I certainly couldn't put a normal swing or shot on it.
You ran backwards after you hit it.
No, there's no reason to stay up there.
No.
Yeah.
But I think that said it all about, I'm getting out of this.
Yeah, I mean, I asked Colt. I was like, Colt, I was on hitting it, so, I mean, you looked at it. Was I being dramatic? He's like, and he'll always call me dramatic, and he was like, no. He's like, I don't know what you were thinking, and I just thinking about it now it's kind of hard. It's weird. It's like, because there's the story of the guys that drove off that cliff. So when they used to allow carts here, so I was thinking about that, obviously walking up. So not worth it, to be honest. But I guess it was a weird situation. I was like, well, if I can hit it, then just hit it.
What's Michael, when you're saying Michael's trying to talk you out of it, what's he saying to you?
He said, I just don't see the point. I don't think it's worth it. I just don't see the point. Stuff like that, I think. And I was, he said that if that were to happen again, he'll walk up, grab my ball, and throw it in the water so that I can't hit it. Is what he said. He said I should have done that. He was like, I just didn't know what to do myself. And I was adamantly telling him, like, pretty aggressively, like, please don't go across that red line to him. And that put him in a tough spot. But if he went across that red line, he wouldn't have let me hit it, I don't think.
What was your distance?
Like 155 adjusted hole. Yeah.
Otherwise,
I
I had the furthest drive on that hole.
The rest of the round was very good, and I was wondering. I mean, we
That
can
was
talk about,
that was good too. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
Other- yeah.
we can talk about a few
Yeah.
holes if you like.
sure. I mean, I figured this would be the case when I finished today. Yeah.
But what was the best shot of the day? I mean, if you're gonna,
My second shot into 6 was pretty nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've ever thought about hitting 3-wood 7-iron into 6 at Pebble. I mean, all 3 courses are playing significantly different than they normally do for this tournament. They're playing so great, like exactly the way you want to play them. The firmness, the speed. Monterey Peninsulas were a top 3 fastest greens we'll see this year, and they were firm. And those are normally soft and bumpy and all that. And then Pebbles, they're taking hops. You got to float shots in on some. You got to drive shots on others. I mean, it's really playing. It's more of a premium in the fairway, even though there is no rough, just because of the shots you have to play into the pins. So they've just done a beautiful job with the golf courses, and the weather obviously cooperating is nice. So it's been really enjoyable to play these 3 courses this week.
And your thoughts going into tomorrow?
Yeah, I guess I'm one back. I think the leaderboard's pretty bunched. Pebble can yield low scores. So I think I just kind of learned a little from last year. Last year I went in with the lead, and I was a little tentative early, and Berger came out firing. I think went like birdie eagle to start. I think not being in the final group, I just kind of approach it like today, where I feel like, sometimes it can be a little easier not in the final group to go ahead and fire away. You almost just set a goal for a number for the day and pretend you got to get there in order to win. So we'll just kind of see where the pins are and adjust on the range.
How do you explain to your wife when you talk to her?
I'm not really sure what's going to happen there. I just saw the blimp shot from overhead, and it really bothered me. So I can't imagine while she was watching that live. They actually came out. My son was out for the first time ever on 3 and 4, and I don't know where they went from there. And I don't know if they were over off the AT&T hospitality or anything. So, I mean, my parents are here too, so not only do I have to explain to my wife, I got to explain to my mom, my dad. Yeah, true. It's a little harder to explain to your parents, I think.
Are you feeling okay too? Because we knew you came in this week and you weren't 100%.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting there. It's oddly still on